Hi, this is Mike with my third video. This one will have taken place after my second bout of chemo. So as you know from my previous talks, there's basically a three-step process for these chemo treatments. I do them every 2 weeks, and on Mondays I go in and they open up this port right here. I punch through it, draw some blood out, do the blood test, make sure everything looks okay. And I got that turkey neck thing going with my t-shirt. So they draw the blood, make sure everything looks okay, blood test wise. Yeah, still got my cough. And then, so that's on Mondays at 5:30. Then I go in for the chemo on Wednesday, and that's about 4.5 hour process. There's 4 medications that get done, and the last one being in the little pouch I think I showed that connects directly in to there, and you wear that for technically they say it's 46 hours, but since I get the procedure, I'm done with it 2, because I go in at 9 in the morning, and 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, well, I said 5 hours, but it's usually around, well, I guess with all the time it takes to put everything in and switch things out, it's about a 5 hour process, but it's really 4 hours worth of straight chemo stuff. Um, like I said, I don't rehearse this or anything, so if I make a mistake like that, it's off the cuff. I'm not going to go redo everything just to do that. That shows that this is at least genuine. So technically, I should be able to get the thing out at you know noon, since I get it put in at 2 and it's a 46-hour process on Friday. Unfortunately, and my time is 5:30, so I literally have that bag for 5 hours extra, with that tube sticking in here. Not fun, and I don't like that. Out of all the chemos, I think I like that one the least, the one you carry around, um, just because I don't know, it's not the embarrassment of having the thing. I mean, I really could care less what other people think. And I carry it around. And I don't know, there's a tube going in me. Get over it. It's more, it gives me a nauseous feeling all the time. Not to the point where I'm like throwing up or anything, but it just makes you not feel right. It's not really a good way to describe it. Um, I guess one way might be if you've ever been on the teacups in Disneyland, go on those with. I went on my senior trip. We went there, and 2 football players and I got into the teacup. And we thought it'd be fun to see how fast we could go. Believe me, I was the runt of the group, but we had that thing spinning pretty fast, where everything was a blur. It pretty much ruined the entire trip afterwards because I felt like crap. But that's the kind of fogs up your head and messes with your stomach, and that's pretty much what chemo. Think of chemo as a teacup ride. Now the pills do a lot. I'll wake up in the mornings and I'll feel like, oh my God, my tummy, like a 4-year old. My stomach is queasy and I'm not feeling that great because of it. Pop one of the pills. Usually in about 30 minutes it goes away. But they're not kidding when they say every 6 hours that you can take it, because it's usually right around the 5 hour mark where it starts to wear off, if it's needed. Like right now, I went and got my treatment last Wednesday, not Wednesday of this week, and right now it's the April 2nd, so not 2 days ago Wednesday, but a week ago is when I got it done. And I'll tell you, this last time was more brutal than the first time. There's a couple reasons for that. One of them being that I know this is going to sound stupid, but I didn't get like my own room. And you might think, well, so? Well, as I found out, they have rooms with actual hard walls on each side of you, and then they have ones where the curtains are. Now, I think I mentioned in the previous video, usually when I get my blood test or get the thing pulled out or put in, it's in one of the rooms with the curtains that go around the ceiling. Well, that's not a big deal when you're in there 5 minutes getting the blood test or getting the thing pulled out. But one of the things that's really nice about having one of the rooms with the hard walls on each side is, number one, you really don't hear so much on people on the left of you and people on the right of you. Um, and I'll explain why that can be an issue. The second thing is, when you're looking ahead, at least where I was before, there really wasn't anybody except nurses moving around in front of me, which it's always nice to see nurses moving around. um, but at least it gives you something to look at. People walking by, people are talking, you get a sense of flow. Um, and number three, the biggest point is when you've got that wall next to you, there's a bathroom. So you're sharing a bathroom with somebody who's on the other side of that wall. There's like you got, so a hard wall on one side, hard wall on the other. This side might have a bathroom, and then so there's a bathroom door there, and then there's a door on the other side, and it's another hard wall room. So two of you share a bathroom. Now, that I found out is really nice because you're there for 5 hours, and you're going to need to pee quite a bit because you've got these fluids just constantly going into you. And it's a lot easier to disconnect your machine and move 2 feet into a bathroom than disconnect a machine, go down the hallway, make a left, go down a hallway, make a right, and go into a bathroom. So, bathroom wise alone, it's by far better. Now, I don't know if they gave me the room with the hard walls the first time because it was my first time ever there and they want you to be more at ease. I had 2 nurses working with me. The last time with the curtain, there was 1 nurse. And like I said, it seemed to be a lot more brutal. Now, I'll go back to a couple of the reasons. First, obvious, was the third reason, bathroom. The second reason I mentioned, which seems kind of petty, is people walking by. So when I had the previous room and people would be walking by, you'd smile, you'd say hi and whatnot. In the case with the curtain, there weren't that many people walking by because I had another person there to me with their curtain and another person there to me with their curtain. I also had a person on my left and a person on my right. And the only thing separating us is this little curtain. So the whole time I'm getting my chemo, I'm looking over at 2 other people getting chemo, which, as you can imagine, if you give me the choice of looking at a nurse or someone getting chemo, I'm taking the nurse. I don't care if it's a guy or a girl at this point. It's just, I don't want to be reminded, that's me over there. And of course you start thinking, are they worse off than me? Are they better off than me? That guy's got his hair, that guy doesn't. It's a lot nicer when the only thing in front of you is a nursing station and those things don't go through your head. And then finally, the number one thing I said about having the curtains is it's a curtain. So I don't know what it was. I was on the other side of the building this time, but the person on my left, quiet as a church mouse, no problem with them. They seem pretty cool. I smiled at them, they smiled at me. Yay, we're all have cancer together. But 2 down. I don't know if it was the nurse's station. I don't know if it was a patient there who was trying out her comedic routine. But we're talking laughing at a level of, let's say my voice right now is a level of 6. They were to 9. And it was just this cackling and laughter, and you couldn't help but hear it because it was so loud. And you're in, like I said, this curtain area. So it wasn't like I wanted to eavesdrop. It's you had no choice. And it was just this inane banter back and forth that this one woman, who I'm pretty sure worked there, just thought was the funniest thing they'd ever heard. And so I know the lady next to me was getting pissed off because I heard her a couple times say under her breath, I don't think they heard it, but I heard it. It was like shut the fuck up or something like that, or oh my God, please stop. But what are you gonna do? Everybody's got cancer. If it was a coworker working there, or I shouldn't say coworker, not my coworker. If it was a nurse down there, I'm not gonna say, hey, shut what we're slowly dying in here, well, we're recovering, but we're getting our chemo treatment. Can you keep it down? I'm not going to be that guy. Plus, I had headsets, so I was able to tune them out. And that brings me to another point. Make sure you have good earwear. So I just brought some AirPods, and believe me, the next time I'm bringing my Beats, cover the ear, noise cancellation, I'll be golden. But I guess those were the three of the reasons that the last chemo experience wasn't as good as the first one. Not that any chemo experience is a good experience, but at least with the first one, it was constant. They were talking to me. They were telling me what was going on. They were going through and saying, this is this is that. These are some of the after effects. It time flew by. Now that could have just been because of the first time everything was new. Now that it was the second time, I knew how long it was going to take. I knew when they changed the first bag, oh crap, I've got, two more to go. Technically three, they do two at once at the very end. So time dragged the second time. And also it seemed to hit me a little bit more. And like I said, other than diarrhea and the stomach problems, the queasiness, wouldn't think I had cancer. Although, best friend I go have coffee with comes up to me, and he's the one I mentioned that had his friend have brain cancer. His other friend had brain cancer and passed away, which is why I didn't want him to. I was really reluctant to tell him about my cancer. I couldn't avoid it, obviously, but I was more worried for him because of what he's gone through. Comes up to me. I get to his house to go get coffee. He comes up to me and goes, "Oh, got any hair loss?" And grabs the back of my hair, pulls out a bunch of hair. I hadn't noticed any hair loss. Now, you'll notice because of the lighting, my hair's a lot grayer. It's always been that gray. Well, it used to be blonde, but now it's gray. But I got a haircut, so that's one reason why you see less hair. But I am losing my hair now. It's official. I mean, I don't, there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. Good. All right. Well, that was just me grabbing at the back. So I was hoping that I'd be one of the ones that, hey, it's not going to get me. But once my friend pulled my hair out of the back, it's just been downhill ever since. So thanks, Russ. Like out him on this, like he's going to watch it. Although he did find this when I mentioned I made this. He found it like 3 seconds. So apparently having my name in it makes it easier to search on. Go figure. So yeah, this last chemo, not as enjoyable as the last time. I also noticed that it seems to have, the effects of the queasiness have lasted longer. So I don't know if it's a cumulative effect. Because the first time I did it, there was no hair loss. I did that pull in the hair and it didn't do anything. So I'm wondering, it's not now where it's like chemo to chemo and then chemo start again, chemo, because it goes like this. Chemo doesn't go up and down like this. I think it's chemo and then it goes down a little bit, more chemo, so it goes up, and then more chemo. So I think each time it's probably going to affect me more. I probably could look it up and find out, but I really don't care. It's going to affect me one way or the other, so why bother reading about it? But I'll know for sure next week when on Wednesday I go back in and get my third round of chemo. I think I mentioned in my last one, maybe you can even see it in my first video. Right here, I used to have my psoriasis, and I used to have it on my finger here, where this just looked like somebody gotten sandpaper and ripped my finger apart. Gone. Also, I had a really dry behind my ears, which the psoriasis would do. Gone. So chemo has completely taken care of my psoriasis. Miracle. Never thought that was going to happen. Now, whether that's going to stay that way, I don't know. I could probably look it up, but once again, I don't care. I'll take it for as long as I can get it. So, benefit of chemo number one, no psoriasis. Benefit of keto number 2 finally is taking effect, and that's the weight loss. 7 pounds. Not a whole lot. I'm still eating everything in sight. It's just that I'm not as hungry sometimes. It's that queasiness. Whereas like last night, it was National Burrito Day apparently, and I got 2 burritos at El Pollo Loco. Ate one for lunch, and normally I would have scarfed down that second one at dinner, no problem. But around 8 o'clock, I took like 4 bites of it and just was like, don't need it. So I make sure to eat, and they say, good low-fat proteins. So chicken, obviously. A little harder today since it's Meatless Friday, the last one for Easter. But yeah, eating wise, I've lost about 7 to 8 pounds in the last week. Yeah, like I said, I still got my cough. So that's about it. Other than that, I feel fine. No other after effects, side effects. And I think the next one I'll do is around the same time, because it's not right after the chemo that I feel the worst. It's like a day or two after, when I've got that bag on, and that's when it really seems to affect me. Now, all I got to do is make it through Sunday, Easter, with my hair, because that's when I see everybody, see my parents, see my brother, his family, and hopefully I can make it till then without losing any more hair. And then really, I don't really care. I'll probably shave it off at some point. I guess if there's a whole big clump gone on one side, laying my head on the pillow and then rubbing it back and forth, it all comes off. I'll shave the whole thing, but we'll deal with that when it comes. So I've got 2 more treatments with the 4 types of cancer medication. Then 4 treatments with 2, 4 weeks off, then the surgery. And we'll see what happens there. Thanks for watching. Hope everyone is having a good day. Like I said, I may have cancer, but it could always be worse. I'm really appreciative. This is another thing that cancer does. It makes you reflect on your life. Well, I guess anything that like cancer or I guess any major disease will make you think of that. But it really makes me appreciate what I've had and my family and my friends. I think I said that last time too. I don't want to hype them up too much. But yeah, I mean, everything can always be worse. And, everybody's going to have something. And this is just what I got for now. I'm 1/5 of the way. I'm not going to do any math here. I'm going through the process. I'm two in. I got 6 to go. And then surgery. So, all right. Let's see the next phase. One thing I should mention. I got my second COVID shot. I don't know if you can... More pasty white. I got my second COVID shot on Wednesday. And anyone who gets that... I got the Moderna one. Anyone who gets the shot, during chemo or not during chemo, one bit of advice I will give. Hydrate. Everybody at work, like 2/3 of the people at work got knocked out because of this second shot. It didn't affect me too bad. It gave me a headache, and it gave me some muscle pain right in the back of my neck, and it made my nausea a little more prevalent. But what I noticed was every time I'd pee at night, my headache would come, or I would start to feel it. But when I drank water, it would go away. I've never had that effect before. Happened to me whenever... I mean, think about it. If you have a headache and you drink water, headache doesn't go away. Usually you take some medication and it does it. It was so weird. Pee, headache gets worse. Drink water, headache goes down. So just hydrate the crap out of yourself and see if you can avoid it altogether. Like I said, I didn't get the fever. I didn't get chills. I got a little soreness in my neck and the headache. And the headache, on a scale of 1 to 10, was probably a 3. It was more of an irritation than anything. But since I work on computers all day, or not work on them, but with a computer all day, I knew that that screen would just irritate the crap out of my head if I kept at it. So called in sick, like everybody else seems to have, and just powered through it. Slept pretty much all day yesterday. So, yeah, word of the wise: get the vaccine and hydrate. So hopefully you won't have any after effects. So thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one.